Welcome to the J-Man Movie Buzz. Here with today's movie. Welcome to the J-Man Movie Buzz. Here with today's movie review, DVD update. Here we go. The first one is A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. If you haven't seen it, here's the blurb. A seasoned musician, Jackson Maine, seasoned musician Jackson Maine, Bradley Cooper, discovers and falls in love with struggling artist Allie. She has just given up on her dream to make it big as a singer until Jack coaxes her into the spotlight. But even as Allie's career takes off, the personal side of their relationship is breaking down as Jack fights an ongoing battle with internal demons. That's A Star Is Born. Mr. This. The next one is Disney's remake of Aladdin. If you haven't seen it, here's a review. Experience the thrilling live-action adaptation of the characters and tale you know and love from Disney's animated classic. The cinematic celebration of Disney's Aladdin is an entertaining magic carpet ride for fans old and new. Sean King, CNET. No reviews says A Classic is Born. Marcus Allen, ABC TV. Here's Aladdin. This. Next one is Aquaman. This is Aquaman. Here's the review, the blurb. Aquaman reveals the origin story of half-human, half-Atlantean Arthur Curry and takes him on the journey of his lifetime to discover if he is worthy of who he was born to be, a king. That's Aquaman. The next one is Bohemian Rhapsody. This is the biopic about Queen. You've seen this, the blue. Bohemian Rhapsody is an enthralling celebration of Queen, their music, and the extraordinary lead singer Freddie Mercury, Rami Malek, who defied stereotypes and convention to become one of history's most beloved entertainers. Following Queen's meteoric rise, their revolutionary sound, and Freddie's solo career, the film also chronicles the band's reunion and one of the greatest performances in rock history. That's Bohemian Rhapsody. Here's Bohemian Rhapsody. Here's the disc. Next one is Booksmart, which is out on DVD now. I haven't seen it, the blurb. In this fresh, unfiltered modern comedy, best friends and epidemic overachievers, Amy and Molly, realize they've missed out on pretty much all fun during high school. So on the eve of graduation, they decide to make up for lost time with one wild adventure in this hilarious coming-of-age story about the meaningful bonds we create. Also starring Lisa Kudrow, Will Forte, and Jason Sudeikis. This is Beanie Feldstein and Amy Deaver and Caitlin Deaver. Here's the front. The disc for Booksmart. Let's go on. Next one is Creed 2, which is a sequel to the first Creed. This has Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone and Tessa Thompson. This is the blurb. The legacy continues. Life has become a balancing act for Adonis Creed between personal obligations and training for his next big fight. He's up against the challenge of his life, facing an opponent with ties to his family's past. Only intensifies his impending battle in the ring. Rocky Balboa is there by his side through it all, and together Rocky and Adonis will confront their shared legacy, question what's worth fighting for, and discover that nothing's worth more important and discovered that nothing's more important than family. Creed 2 is going back to basics to rediscover what made you a champion in the first place, and remembering that no matter where you go, you can't escape your history. That's Creed 2. This front. It's the disc for Creed 2. Next one is my newie. Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Justice Smith, and Ryan Reynolds. Here's the blurb. The story begins when ace detective Harry Goodman goes mysteriously missing, prompting his 21-year-old son Tim to find out what happened. Aiding in the investigation is Harry's former Pokemon partner, Detective Pikachu, a hilariously wisecracking, adorable super sleuth who is a puzzlement even to himself. Finding that they are uniquely equipped to communicate with one another, Tim and Pikachu join forces on a thrilling adventure to unravel the tangled mystery, chasing clues together throughout the neon-lit streets of Rhyme City, a sprawling modern metropolis where humans and Pokemon live side by side in a hyper-realistic live-action world. They encounter a diverse cast of Pokemon characters and discover a shocking plot that could destroy this peaceful coexistence and threaten the whole Pokemon universe. That's Pokemon Detective Pikachu. That's the front. It's the disc for Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Next one is Dumbo, Disney's Dumbo, which is based on the animated classic. Here's the blurb. A Disney legend returns for a whole new generation. Acclaimed director Tim Burton presents the reimagined Dumbo. Dreams soar all the way to the big top, where a baby elephant that can fly saves the day. That's Dumbo. The disc for Dumbo. Next one is my new that I got called 5 Feet Apart with Haley Lou Richardson and Cole Sprouse from Riverdale, and the Street Lovers Zach and Cody. The logline is, when life keeps you apart, fight for every inch. His aunt, Haley Lou Richardson, old. She's to her laptop and loves her best friends. But unlike most teenagers, she spends much of her time living in a hospital as a cystic fibrosis patient. Her life is full of routines, boundaries, and self-control, all of which is put to the test when she meets an impossibly charming fellow patient named Will Newman, Cole Sprouse. That's 5 Feet Apart. Here's the front. Here's the disc for 5 Feet Apart. Let's go on. Next one is Isn't It Romantic? With Rebel Wilson, Liam Hemsworth, and Adam Devine. Here's a blurb. None of the feels. New York City architect Natalie works hard to get noticed at her job, but is more likely to be asked to deliver coffee and bagels than to design the city's next skyscraper. And if things weren't bad enough, Natalie, a lifelong cynic when it comes to love, has an encounter with a mugger that renders her unconscious, waking to discover that her life has suddenly become her worst nightmare, a romantic comedy, and she is the leading lady. That's Isn't It Romantic? Here's the front. Here's the disc for Isn't It Romantic? This one is Instant Family with Mark Wahlberg, Rose Byrne, Isabella Monet from Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Here's the blurb. Just add chaos, laughter, awkwardness, and mistakes, love. When Pete, Mark Wahlberg, and Allie, Rose Byrne, decide to start a family, they stumble into the world of foster care adoption. They hope to take in one small child, meet three siblings, including a rebellious 15-year-old girl, Isabella Monet. They find themselves speeding from 0 to 3 kids overnight. Now, Pete and Allie must hilariously try to learn the ropes of instant parenthood in the hopes of becoming a family. That's Instant Family. That's the front. It's a disc for Instant Family. The next one is The Kid Who Would Be King. This is about King Arthur. Evil gets schooled. An army to fight, a demon to slay, a world to save, no pressure. Old school magic meets the modern world in this epic adventure. Alex, Louis Ashbourne Circus, thinks he's just another nobody until he stumbles upon the mythical sword in the stone, Excalibur. Now he must unite his friends and enemies into a band of knights, and together with the legendary wizard Merlin, Sir Patrick Stewart, take on the wicked enchantress Morgana, Rebecca Ferguson. With the future at stake, Alex must become the great leader he never dreamed he could be. That's the king. Here's the disc for The Kid Who Would Be King. The Lion King. This is the Disney live-action Lion King. That's based on the animated classic. Here's the blurb. Experienced Disney and visionary director Jon Favreau invite you to experience a grand epic adaptation of the award-winning global phenomenon, The Lion King, brought to life like never before with an all-star cast. It's a game changer. The Sun. That's the front. Here's the disc for The Lion King. Next one is Mary Poppins Returns, which is a sequel to Mary Poppins. Here's the blurb. The magic returns in Disney's all-new classic as Mary Poppins, Emily Blunt, helps the Banks family remember the joy of what it's like to be a child. Together with her friend Jack the Lamplighter, Lin-Manuel Miranda, fun is brought back to the streets of London in celebration that everything is possible, even the impossible. That's the front. It's the disc for Mary Poppins Returns. Next one is Men in Black International. Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, Emma Thompson, Liam Neeson, Rafe Spall. This one is about Richard. The world's not going to save itself. The Men in Black have always protected the Earth from the scum of the universe. In this new adventure, they tackled their biggest threat today, a mole in the Men in Black organization. That's the front. And here's the disc for Men in Black International. Next one is Rocket Man, which is about Elton John, based on a true fantasy. Taron Egerton is Elton John. The only way to tell his story is to live his fantasy. Rocket Man. Rocket Man is an epic musical fantasy all about the uncensored human story of Elton John's breakthrough years, from his years as a prodigy at the Royal Academy of Music through his influential and enduring musical partnership with Bernie Taupin. That's the front. And here's the disc for Rocket Man. Second last one is Second Act with Jennifer Lopez. The only thing stopping you is you. Her talent was real, her resume was not. Working Girl is a comedy in the vein of Working Girl and Made in Manhattan. Jennifer Lopez stars as Maya, a 40-year-old woman struggling with frustrations from unfulfilled dreams. Until she gets the chance to prove to Madison Avenue that street smarts are as valuable as book smarts, and it is never too late for a second act. That's the front. Here's the disc for Second Act. The second last one is Top End Wedding with William Lee, Miranda Tapsell. Here's the blurb. The movie that will make you fall back in love with rom-coms. From the makers of The Sapphires, Top End Wedding is a celebration of love, family, and belonging, set against the spectacular natural beauty of the Northern Territory. This heartwarming romantic comedy tells the story of successful Sydney lawyer Lauren, Miranda Tapsell, The Sapphires, and her fiancé Ned, Grimley, Bohemian Rhapsody. Engaged and in love, they have just 10 days to pull off their dream top-end wedding. First, though, they need to track down Lauren's mother, who has gone AWOL somewhere in the Northern Territory. That's Top-End Wedding. That's the front. The disc for Top-End Wedding. And the last one for today is Yesterday with Hamish Patel, Lily James, and Ed Sheeran. Is the blurb. From the director of Slumdog Millionaire and the writer of Love Actually. Everyone in the world has forgotten the Beatles. Everyone except Jack. Jack Malek is a struggling singer-songwriter in an English seaside town whose dreams of fame are rapidly fading, despite the fierce devotion and support of his childhood best friend Ali. After a freak bus accident during a mysterious global blackout, Jack wakes up to discover that the Beatles have never existed. Performing songs by the greatest band in history to a world that has never heard them, Jack becomes an overnight sensation with a little help from his agent. He's about to become a very big deal. That's Yesterday. That's the front. It's the disc of Yesterday. The movies I reviewed today are Yesterday, Top End Wedding. Second Act. Rocket Man. Men in Black International. Mary Poppins Returns. The Lion King. The Kid Who Would Be King. Instant Family. Isn't It Romantic? 5 Feet Apart. Dumbo. Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Creed 2. Booksmart. Bohemian Rhapsody. Aquaman. Aladdin. And A Star Is Born. That's all my reviews for today. That's all my movies for today. I'm the J-Man saying bye.